Halo Season 2 Episode 6 has been released. The Halo Season 2 episode from last week was akin to a relaxed western, with the survivors of the Covenant's attack on Reach recovering and coming to terms with the deaths they had seen. After bidding Vannak farewell and accepting Riz's resignation, Master Chief resolved to unleash chaos on the UNC and Oni. Master Chief was so consumed with the need for vengeance that he was oblivious to H's advice to get to the Halo and advise against it. When Quan Ha communicated with the ghost of an older woman who had passed away in the sanctuary, the ghost alerted Quan Ha to the approaching monster and urged her to keep her promise to be a protector. In addition to all that, it was revealed that Kai Ackerson and the rest of the survivors of the Reach genocide were on a planet called Onyx, and they were starting their very own Spartan program. Let's find out what happens when Master Chief and his ragtag group of Truthsayers face off against the might of the UNC and the Oni. Episode 6 of Halo Season 2 opens with an intense action sequence featuring Paris, who has joined the UNSC to prepare for the fight against the Covenant. I love the use of the claustrophobic camera angle that's only focused on Paris's panic-ridden eyes, and the way it's cut with the third-person shots of the new Spartans trying to infiltrate a Covenant vessel is masterful. Also, you should focus on the sound design and how it changes between all of these shots. When you are inside the helmet, the sounds of the shooting and the explosions are muffled, and the sound of Paris breathing is loud. When you are outside, the explosions and gunshots sound louder, and you can only hear the conversations between the Spartans and not see the humans in those suits. Anyway, at the end of the mission, the whole crew dies, and it seems like it's game over for Paris. However, that's when it's revealed that it's a simulation that's being used to train the Spartans under Kai's watchful eyes, of course. Kai says that their teamwork has to mimic the teamwork of bees, and Paris refutes that statement by saying that the simulation was botched and that's why her team failed, not because they are incompetent. She also insinuates that Kai is being extra strict with her, because Kai is envious of the fact that Paris was on Reach and she wasn't. Kai remarks that just because Paris has been in one battle, she isn't the same as Kai. It just means that she has luckily survived. It's the warrior soldier in her talking, but deep down, she knows that she is guilty of abandoning her people when she was needed the most. This heated conversation is followed by a somewhat cold one over a cup of tea where Parangoski tells Ackerson that she thinks that Catherine High and Master Chief are on Onyx as they speak. She is not wrong, because they have in fact reached Onyx and are preparing to infiltrate the UNC and Oni headquarters. As mentioned earlier, Kai has guilt coursing through her veins. That's why she is seen replaying the moment when Master Chief, Riz, and Vannak made their last stand on Reach. It's stopped by Ackerson, who assures her that she is where she needs to be, training a new breed of Spartans. I have to mention that this is a really subtle way of using sci-fi game mechanics where players replay certain missions in case they fail the first time to convey what a character is going through. Halsey, after mentioning that she knows where Kessler is, ghosts her motley crew of rebels. Quan Ha, while following the ghost of that elderly woman, attracts a bunch of UNC soldiers, which prompts Soren and Lara to go on the run. Master Chief doesn't, and he stands his ground and gives the soldiers hell. It's a pretty sweet action sequence, but eventually, Master Chief is surrounded and arrested. However, going by Pablo's expression, it seems like it's part of Master Chief's plan. Quan Ha gets separated from Soren and Lara and is guided to a familiar-looking Wii by the elderly spirit. She takes a leap of faith and is reunited with Halsey. They chat a little about how they've influenced each other's lives and that of Master Chief's while traveling through the caves of Onyx, which is apparently where High used to operate from, and it's the place where Spartans were originally made. So UNC, and on arriving here isn't Tranom, it's a full circle moment. By the way, while all this is happening, Sane and Lara try to make their way into the UNC compound, because that's apparently where Kessler is. It shows Vergard Knight, aka the Arbiter, branding himself. I suppose he's a bit of a zealot who enjoys suffering since it's the only thing that helps him concentrate. Kindly enlighten me if there is a game-based justification for it. Concerned that they haven't reconnected with the High Charity or the fleet as instructed, and that he isn't following up with them either, is a priest by the name of Yudam Dhamma. The Arbiter claims that since they are according to Makey's mission plan to go to Halo, it is what he desires. Makey's competence is questioned by Yudamdama, who wishes to eliminate her from the situation. However, the Arbiter intervenes and reminds the priest that Makey has the Higher Arch's blessing, and he needs to respect that, but Yudamdama says that when they return to the High Charity, he is going to ask them to allow him to kill Makey. Probably, he just had humans. When the priest is gone, even the Arbiter expresses some doubt about Makey's ability to harness the powers of the Keystone and learn how to reach the Halo, and Makey says that she is the Blessed One or the Chosen One, and she knows what she is doing. When the Arbiter is out of earshot, Cortana confirms everyone's fears regarding Makey's powers. They are gone. We don't know how she made it out alive after getting shot at the end of Halo Season 1. But it's obvious that a resurrection has cost her powers. Kai oversees another Covenant ship infiltration simulation, which is another way of using game mechanics to train soldiers, and this time Paris leads her team to victory. Everyone is joyous and happy that they've beaten the program, and what hinted, but Paris isn't, because she thinks that although getting into the ship and planting the bug was hard, they didn't face a lot of issues getting out of there. Paris addresses this fatal flaw and essentially alleges that Kai is underpreparing the Spartans. Kai seemingly doesn't see that, and she tells Paris to take the W and chill out. Anyway, this is followed by the coolest scene in the show yet, where Master Chief is brought into the UNC headquarters, like an animal bound from every possible angle and held by the soldiers. Briggs taunts him for being helpless, and even refers to the death of the Cobalt Squad as an indication that his kind of Spartans is a dying breed. Master Chief says that he just wants to meet Margaret, and obviously, Briggs doesn't listen to him. As soon as she leaves the room, and the soldiers begin to tie Master Chief to the floor, the man goes into beast mode. There are so many great moments within the whole fight scene, and by the way, if you are bored of watching the new kind of hand-to-hand fights that are done in one long take, then you'll love this, because it uses good framing and precise cuts to make the whole set piece so enjoyable. With all that said, Ackerson uses the footage of this fight, the fact that Master Chief has miraculously survived the Reach genocide, and the allegation that he is in M's good books to push the theory that Master Chief is working with the Covenant to steal one half of the artifact and reunite it with the Keystone. Kai doesn't want to believe this, but I guess she is too much of a jarhead to think for herself. Makey has a conversation with Cortana about the position of the Halo planet, and Makey reveals that she has lost her powers to use the artifact. She says that she has lost her connection with Master Chief too. She talks about him like she is in love with him. That said, she is committing genocide, and no matter how much she cries and emotes, she is always going to be a villain. Master Chief is also a killer, and has probably wiped off several planets for the UNC. So maybe they are indeed a match made in heaven. You could argue that Master Chief is on somewhat of a redemption path, but can he be redeemed? I don't think so. Talking about the Master Chief, the hulking dude makes his way into the sublevels to get the location of the artifact. Yes, he is there for the artifact, but he wants to use it himself and get to the Halo planet. Unfortunately, he is confronted by the brainwashed Kai. Master Chief tries to reason with her and help her understand that Ackerson is misguiding her, but Kai's vision, metaphorically speaking, is too foggy to differentiate between the truth and the lie. So she proceeds to beat the living hell out of Master Chief. It's not really a fight because Master Chief doesn't have his armor and Kai does. So in a way, Master Chief allows Kai to follow Ackerson's orders in the hopes that once she is done with the task at hand, she will understand that she is being manipulated by Ackerson. After reviewing the footage of Kai obliterating Master Chief, Margaret reveals that somehow she is more heartless than Aeon, because she starts talking about how the deaths on Reach and the end of the man in the Master Chief suit are necessary to win the war against the Covenant. What's also revealed is that Margaret did extract the Cortana from Master Chief and allowed May to take it, so that Cortana could spy on the Covenant from the inside. So in addition to assisting before Cortana appears in front of Margaret and the Master Chief, we see Cortana guiding Master Chief to the artifact, while Makey approaches the Keystone. Cortana chats with Margaret about the location of the Covenant fleet and asks her if she has fulfilled her duties, and whether or not she is free to go. Margaret tells Cortana that she needs her to stay with Makey and the Covenant, and keep informing them about her whereabouts until the day she is discarded by Make the Covenant. Cortana asks a pretty existential question about whether or not she'll be remembered for all the work she is doing, and that probably means she is becoming more and more sentient and human. Surprise, surprise, Kwan Ha and the Elder Ghost lead Halsey and her companion to Miranda's lab when she gets lost in the caverns. Miranda and Halsey argue about exploiting Halsey's work without her consent as soon as they are back together. Miranda claims that Halsey's work had errors, and that she is now fixing them. What is the purpose of this project? Kwan Ha is staring at a massive ring. Therefore, I assume it has to do with portals. But that's not really important. The fact that Captain Keyes is dead is actually what matters. Miranda will be affected, and Halsey's soul has suffered as a result. Halsey and Miranda don't like each other anyway, but if Jacob's death going to reforge their relationship or increase the gap between them, we'll have to wait and watch. Elsewhere on Onyx, Sane and Lara come across a place called Thermopyle. Kessler is nowhere to be seen there, but as soon as Sane notices blood and hears some odd sounds coming from the distance, he takes Lara and gets out of there. Ackerson admits to Kai at the inclusion of Halo Season 2 Episode 7 that he is the one lowering the difficulty of the Spartan missions. He argues that the Spartans will become discouraged if they believe these goals are unachievable. If they believe it is possible, they will be optimistic despite having irrational hopes for a conflict with the Covenant. It demonstrates that newcomers will always be treated like pawns in Defense Force-related media regardless of how realistic the content may be. In any case, this eventually makes Kai think that Master Chief was correct, and that Ackerson had also been lying to her in order to keep her loyal to him and prevent her from challenging the way the UNC operates. To be with Master Chief again, she dashes outside. Kai leaves him alone and Ackerson mumbles something about sending the Black Ops to get Master Chief. Ackerson is mistaken because Master Chief is not in the Black Ops' possession. He is near the artifact. The way Pablo walks through the corridors is a little hilarious. Thanks to Cortana, and as he goes to touch it, the keystone, which is in the Covenant's possession, activates, as well, probably reigniting Maikey's superpowers. If you are under the impression that the next episode will reunite Master Chief with Maikey, I'll advise you to calm down, because there's some stuff that both of them have to deal with. Firstly, since the Arbiter has slaughtered the priest and others Covenant soldiers to protect Maikey, they'll have to face the full force of the Covenant, and that won't be pretty. Secondly, Master Chief has to get out of Onyx with the artifact, and since his little team is scattered all over the planet, it won't be an easy task. That said, you're free to hope that things will go well for your favorite characters in the upcoming episodes. If you like the video, then subscribe to the channel, and click the thumbs up button below the video. Thanks.